Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody, and today's video, we've made it to week 9, everybody, well, sort of week 9. I've made it. Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again is officially complete. We've made it with the first 2 episodes, then the third episode, the 4th episode, 5th and 6th, 7, 8, and now 9. And we are officially done with Season 1, and we are possibly going to be getting Season 2 next year around March. I think before we get started talking about this new episode, it's very clear to talk about what were my thoughts going into this show before everything happened. So, like I said before going into this show, I was, of course, very excited, mainly because, even before watching the Daredevil show from Netflix, because, they announced this show before I saw the Daredevil show and all the Marvel Netflix shows. But I know that show is very beloved, and I know people wanted to see that character, and, especially all the reactions we got at No Way Home, and even the little things we got with Daredevil in She-Hulk after that. It's like, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see that. And then I finally saw Daredevil for myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, if we're gonna be getting this dark, gritty, and then at the same time cool action from Daredevil, oh yeah, I want to see that stuff. And for what we get in this show, I think it definitely delivers on the peak writing. It definitely delivers on the peak writing that is somewhat a bit better than the original show. In some parts, we'll talk about that as we go along. But I thought, some of the acting choices were pretty good. The way that it's not really doing, the way it's kind of subverting expectations, where you think it's just another story where Matt's going to come back as Daredevil and he's going to fight Kingpin. And that doesn't really happen in this show. He doesn't actually fight Kingpin at all. There's no fight between them. And especially, and also, you also gotta remember, this show kind of went through, a overhaul. Where the first half, the first part of the making process of this show was that they were gonna kill off Karen and Foggy off screen. They were going to make the show a comedy, and Matt wasn't going to be in the Daredevil suit until, episode 4. So that's not really the best sign. But then a new team came in and took it over, and they actually were able to work it out and make what the first half of the show is going to be into those other episodes, and then the last 2 episodes are basically what the new team created. And I think for me, for the last 2 episodes they've made, they've been pretty great so far. So, that's pretty much my overall thoughts on, the series as a whole. But I'll talk about my general main thoughts once we're done talking about this episode. So, let's go ahead and dive into this final episode of Daredevil Born Again. To just give you my thoughts, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked it and the way things ended. So I don't know whether the new team or the old team is... I don't know, because I know that the writers of Loki did this show. And they wrote some episodes in this show. But I'm not sure if they were part of the older team or if they're part of the new team. Because if they are part of the new team that did the last 2 episodes, the way that this finale kind of works reminds me a lot of Loki season 1, where in Loki, well, actually, we'll talk about that in a little bit. First off, let's talk about Daredevil and Punisher. I thought the way they handled this team up, I thought they handled it really well. Granted, Punisher is still killing people. Matt is still, brutally beating people up, but he's still, they're working together, they're teaming up and stuff, but he's still not gonna take it that Punisher is killing people, and it's just fun. And as soon as you see him in Matt's apartment, and he's like, So let me get this straight. The power's out, and I can't even make a single goddamn coffee in this house. Like, like he just wants some coffee, and he mentions it like multiple times throughout the episode, and it's so much fun. And he's like, "What do they call you now, Nightgown Man?" And all these little like quips, these little like funny things in this episode just make it work so well. And I love the relationship that Matt and Frank have now in this show. And it makes Frank a little bit kind of likable now, because and it's so crazy to think of how far these characters have come. Where the last episode we had Matt protecting Fisk, saving him, and now we have Punisher and Daredevil, who Punisher was technically a bad guy in season 2 of Daredevil. Now they're working together and stopping like corrupt cops. That's awesome. And for the fight scene we get in this episode, I thought it was really cool. I will say I liked the approach that they had for this scene, as it's like making it feel like a comic book panel and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like when it actually came to the actual, and I love how gory it is, when it came to the actual choreography of the action and stuff like that, like, you know, Daredevil, like, whatever Punisher is doing, I think he could have done a little bit better. Like, he's basically being a murderer if he could actually just move and stuff and actually killing people. But, I don't know. I think the bloodbath could work if you actually did it properly rather than just slatantly killing people. Like, use the gun in clever ways. Do it. You are a soldier. Do it in clever ways. And, you know, Matt, he's using his grappling hook or whatever, and he's, you know, using all his nunchucks and whatever, and that's really cool. But at the same time, it's like, that's the thing that was lacking in this season. The cool Daredevil action. And I really missed that. Like, the only scene I really liked was really the one in episode 6 with Muse and Daredevil, and really the opening fight in episode 1. Every other fight in this show, I couldn't really get into, because the choreography just seemed kind of off. Now, I hope that in season 2, we get better choreography and the fights are both vicious, but they're both awesome. Like, the choreography is great. And so, yeah, there's just some cool things in this. I wish we could have got another fight with them, but unfortunately we only got one. One thing that I loved here was the return of Karen. I think, obviously, this season really had a Karen and Foggy hole that was missing. And seeing her again interact with Matt, I thought, was great. And really just kind of bring him back into things. And I thought that was a really nice centerpiece that really worked. I do wish Punisher could have actually came and helped us, but it's like, you could still do your killing. I mean, you helped Matt take down the bad guys. So technically, I mean, if anything, these cops, if anything, I know Matt doesn't want to kill, but if anything, killing these cops is what's best for the city right now. Like, you can brutally beat up some people to get some information, but you can kill these other guys. But Matt doesn't have remorse like that. So I wish they can compromise a little bit, because like Punisher just went off killing, but it's whatever. Let's talk about that thing with Kingpin. Yeah, that crushing the skull and the head, that was crazy. Almost looked like it was out of a horror film. And that's the other side of the brutalness that I was kind of missing from this season. Like, I liked the death of Foggy and the breaking of the bones and like the viciousness and all that stuff. But like, I don't know, something about it was just kind of missing a little bit. But maybe that's what will be happening in the next season. And as for the setup for what we're getting in this next season, with basically Kingpin, he has like these curfews now. He has all the vigilantes locked up, including Punisher and Swordsman. He has Heather now on his side. Poindexter is still somewhere out there. And now Daredevil is going to need to assemble an army. Which has me... with the way that the last few minutes of this episode turned out, has me a lot of questions thinking. Because we get a post-credit scene with Punisher basically escaping from the prison. So, and I heard a lot of theories that with the post-credit scene of this, that's where it's going to lead into the Punisher special. And a lot of people are thinking it's probably going to be like, what if they did like The Raid, where he's like escaping the prison and he's just attacking all the people. I have some thoughts on that. I have some mixed thoughts on that because it'd be cool if you know, Punisher just blatantly killed everybody, but he's not a martial artist. He just goes guns blazing. Guns a-blazing. So that's one cool thing. And maybe if he wants to free some swordsmen, which I don't even know if there's other vigilantes down there, but if he wants to free swordsmen to help him, and he could join Matt's army to take down Kingpin, I would love that. As for the army that Daredevil is going to assemble, my most likely pick is he's going to assemble reassemble the Defenders. I can't really think of anyone else he would assemble other than like maybe Ayala White Tiger, Ava Ayala White Tiger, Punisher, Swordsman, maybe even Spider-Man, but I doubt it. Maybe Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, basically all the street level heroes, Moon Knight. Though at the same time, some of these characters I feel like are in separate teams already, like Midnight Suns and Young Avengers. So I'm not sure if they could, but we'll see. There's lots of theories that Bullseye could be working with Daredevil in the next season, which I kind of doubt it because he killed his best friend, so why would they do that? Even though Foggy is confirmed to be in the next season, so I guess we'll see. Unless it's flashbacks, I don't know. Oh, and then also, a lot of people are saying now that Heather is on Fisk's side. A lot of people are thinking that she might turn into Muse, which, it's kind of one of the disappointing things about this season is they really wasted Muse, because it's like they had so much potential to do this amazing, intense character, and they just wasted him. I don't really care, honestly. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like, I think what worked on Muse just for a little bit was he was obsessed with like Heather's work, and that's what led him to do that. Plus, what makes him a big threat is he's able to kill good. He's able to kill good, and he also can fight. So if you get into a fight with him, you can actually, if you don't know how to fight, you probably can beat him. But with Heather, maybe those ideas of Muse probably will get to her head and turn her crazy. And if that's what they're going to be doing in that next season, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. So, I guess that's it for just talking about this show. Overall, I love this show. It's kind of hard to say, because honestly, I think it's actually a pretty great MCU project. I would probably say it's one of the best projects I've seen in the MCU because, yes, it wastes Muse, such a great potential on a character, but it has potential to redo that with Heather. We'll see how that goes. I think the writing and story of this show was really well done, even though there's some parts I think they could have developed a little bit better. Obviously, I don't think the action is quite as good as the original show, but it was still really good, and I loved how vicious it was. But when we're talking about just an individual MCU project, did I love it? Yes. Do I think it stands out? Yes. Do I think it's I would actually say it's one of the better Phase 5 projects. I'd probably put it up there as like one of my favorite MCU projects for me. Because a lot of these, a lot of these episodes don't really mesh well. Some of these plot lines and episodes don't really mesh well together. But if I were to talk about, like, just the show overall, it's a really good show. And I'm, like, so excited for Season 2. And the fact that we might get a Daredevil season, like, a Daredevil Born Again season, like, every year, man, that's going to go hard. That's going to go hard. With that said, let's go ahead and get started talking about the next few Disney Plus shows, which, I mean, honestly, we have Ironheart coming out in June. I'm not really sure what to feel about this one. I have a feeling it's going to get canceled. Mainly because we haven't gotten a trailer yet. And I feel like that they're probably going to cancel it. Or they're going to delay it. Who knows? But yeah, that's my review for the finale of Daredevil Born Again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.